Previously on Feed the Beast.
I set up a safe house, a bolt hole in the hot zone. Come find me.
Did you get shot at?
I didn't not get shot at.
Did you get shot?
No.
Okay, then.
I'm sensing a little bit of a personality drift.
Insult me sometimes, God, just take me down a peg.
Sure, you shithead.
That's too much. Knock it back a bit.
And get to work at having a crack at Dad's data fortress.
It's literally child's play. And you find yourself in the Enchanted Forest.
I gotta teach a class. I'm gonna grab my sword.
Okay, yep.
Scare some information into them.
Tell us the story.
Which gives me a two.
Tell us the story. Tell us the story. Tell us the story.
Yeah,
wow,
it's good.
Wax
He's a good
is
teacher.
so cool.
And smart. And hot.
And handsome.
Now.
Breakfast wraps up without a hitch for you, Sprocket.
Every kind of like omelet or sunny side up thing is served with like smile and like, feeling peckish, try this.
So what is it that does get her down? Does she ever get blue and do things ever affect her in that way?
I think she gets nervous. Obviously, she's not very world-wise yet. While she's quite chipper, there's the sense of like, I wish I could just be like, my friends like Wax and Spitfire. They're so assured of themselves.
Aww.
They're so cool. I tried to cut my hair to be like,
Oh, no.
like things, and now I have short fringe, which does not suit my face shape at all. Like things like that.
Yeah,
She's a
it's
teenager.
insecurities.
Yeah.
Your next kind of thing is you have to get up to Purcell Farm. The main farm's on floor 37, and it's the breadbasket of heaven. Not only are there sort of greenhouses that leverage the plate glass that is left over, outside they've bolted on areas that they've made into grow beds so they can directly catch sunlight. And there's also like a fledgling laboratory in Purcell Farm as well, which is where they kind of iterate on techniques and try and make strains that will actually survive in the polluted air. When you come through the main level 37, there's obviously a frenzy of activity in the lab as people are analysing these seeds that were delivered yesterday, and there's congratulations to you, and people want to slap you on the back, and someone gives you a bunch of flowers. As a private project, they've been growing flowers, and they give you flowers.
Oh, what kind of flowers?
They're little pansies. They're quite pathetic, but they are lovely. They're not beautiful bouquet of roses or whatever. That just isn't possible. But
I just imagine
a little bit of colour is
yes,
lovely.
Her head's kind of down. All you see is like her muscly shoulders and just whatever. And she just looks up and like there's tears streaming down her face and like almost like a little bit of snot. She's just like, these are so beautiful. Thank you.
Well, that's okay. They're feeling quite a little bit embarrassed now. I think Moon was looking for you up in the chicken farm on 38. Maybe you want to
Oh
get
yes,
up
the
there.
chickens. Okay, thank you.
Oh, strong emotions really make me feel strange. I don't know.
It's hard to do with blubbering.
Moon is one of the people who lives in heaven. He's an old dreamer. He's one of the people who first set up the collective, and he's well respected here, but things are starting to move past him a little bit as the practicalities of running an anarchist collective in a capitalist world make themselves known. Not so much that he's a pariah or anything, but he does tend to spend more and more of his time up here tending to the farm and the more recent acquisition of chickens. The nomads brought up a bunch of fertilized eggs, weren't really keen to tell anyone exactly where they got them, but they did deliver them.
Exactly.
It's the second time we made that joke in one session.
We don't know what eggs, like what hatched them.
Thank God they were chickens.
Yeah.
So say they brought incubators and they brought eggs. That whole floor has been dedicated to as giving these chickens as much room as possible. You know, this is new for everybody. We're kind of working it out as we go along. And the problem, the problem, I think, is we got an outbreak of leg mites.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I went on CityNet. Nobody knew on Dreamland exactly what the problem was, but on CityNet they said you gotta let it run its course, but you gotta separate the affected individuals before the whole flock gets it. You know how we gotta do that?
We have to catch some chickens?
One by one.
Oh, what a morning.
Yeah, one factor of your character hasn't come up yet is one of your pieces of cyberware is nasal filters. Mm-hmm. Very useful for this kind of work.
Well, there's a lot of... Because one thing about mites is sometimes a dust bath can help, but also if you walk into a chicken coop, my God, the smell, you've got all the hay and the dust that comes off the hay.
This is why it took so long for you to recognize that there was a horrendous smell in your car. Other people had to point it out to you because your nasal filters were on. And you're like, oh, hang on.
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, this is awful. People are right. This is gross. But that's not the concern this morning. The concern this morning is chasing
Catching some chickens.
So give me some animal handling to see how productive a morning of chasing chickens.
I love that you put an activity in for animal handling. That is fantastic.
It's a mini game.
This is a very early Dungeons and Dragons like action that players would do is chasing chickens.
Really?
Yeah.
Has anyone ever actually chased a chicken?
In a D&D game?
No,
just
in real life.
Yeah.
In real life, I've definitely chased a chicken or two.
Home, yeah.
Oh, is it hard?
Yes.
That's a 16.
You make decent progress. Moon's pretty slow at his old age. He works a lot slower than you do.
Jeez, Moon, you are no spring chicken today.
Certainly not. Did you read my article on the theory of pecking order and how it
Pecking
is,
order. You Moon, you strike again.
It wasn't actually a joke. It was actually about how language is used, and the idea of a pecking order is subconsciously put over into human
Moon, the chicken's getting loose.
Oh, crap, sorry. Spitfire.
Hello. He realizes he probably should put some pants on at this point, so as he's kind of getting changed, he was sleeping, Ellen.
I'm sorry, I made a face.
As he kind of...
I thought you were already heading out.
Yeah, oh shit, I forgot to put clothes on.
That's why I was concerned.
As he's putting his clothes on, hey, Avid, can you just give me a bit of a rundown? I'm not too familiar with these, the people, what are they called? The party goers?
The Piranhas.
Piranhas. Can you just give me a bit of a rundown?
They focus mainly on taking drugs, having parties, and basically cutting loose like it's the end of the world.
You ever been to a party, Avid?
I'm not sure how that would be possible for me.
Just play along, Avid, please.
Sure. Yeah, me and the agents hang out all the time. We talk about how stupid all you people are.
Forget I asked. All right, let's go.
The Forge is, as it sounds, a hive of industry. They've put 2 floors together so that they can fit in some of the taller mechanical and chemical equipment. So running a skyscraper is pretty tough. Not everything runs from here. A lot of the stuff, the pumping and things, happens from in the basement. But a lot of that stuff is controlled from here. Flow of water and wastewater, power, and a lot of the general day-to-day maintenance that's needed from people.
This is where the Dreamland servers are as well, isn't it?
This is where the main Dreamland server is run. They're heavily guarded as well. Lawkeepers are always stationed there. It's seen as a cushy but important job because Dreamland is also where the votes are organised that shape everybody's future. You don't have to participate, but any active votes for you to weigh in on will pop up in the evening. It's generally when people have time to consider the material. And it's also when upcoming things are flagged as well. So you can start researching the issue yourself should you want to weigh in.
He's wearing Spitfire's idea of a little bit more casual. He's just kind of wearing kind of an older style black hoodie. It's nothing flashy. It's just, he's here in heaven. Just blue jeans, black hoodie. He's still wearing his fingerless gloves. and he's got his tech tools at his disposal. It's one of the only things that he doesn't have grafted onto himself.
Yeah. Crossing the space involves passing through the odd shower of sparks from an angle grinder, splash of steam, you hear people yelling, or, the shout of an expletive, a clang of a dropped piece of rebar, or things like, calling out to one another. A few people call out to you.
I was going to say, it's if they're calling out to him to congratulate him on the day before.
There's a few of that happens.
A bit of like a cursory kind of, thanks, but he doesn't say it. It's just a nod and just beeline as little interaction as, unless someone's yelling out in pain. He's happy to just
this is a
leave
workspace.
them. It's a white noise.
Yeah, it's a general kind of background thing as you work your way through, and the space that you go to is divided into small sections of work areas. So very nearby is Silver's Ripperdoc Clinic.
Yeah.
It's sort of like 2 bays down from the machine shop where you do weapons tech and upgrade tech.
Yeah, he's pretty well acquainted with Silver at least once or twice. It's where he got his voice analyzer.
Yeah, and she's aware of your wish list of cybernetics that you have, and we'll probably be slowly working on ways to get those acquired for you.
Maybe.
The piranhas are in a sort of gaggle outside the machine shop. Hey, man, about fucking time. We have got a party to go to, and we need some shit done. What's the holdup?
Well, you tell me what you want, and I'll tell you if it can get done.
Extended mag on this bad boy. Someone puts down their SMG. Another guy goes, can you get this hooked up for SmartLink? I really want to get a dermal grip, and I want my gun ready for when I get it. Another guy slaps down a flak vest. It has a lot of
Bullets
lodged in
tear.
it. Yeah. And he looks like he has a few bruises as well when he slaps it down.
He looks at the first one. Yes. He slides a gun towards himself.
Yeah.
Looks at the second guy. Do you have the Neuralink required for that? Question 1.
I'm going to get it put in. When I get Eddie's, I'm going to get the subdermal grip, and it's going to link to my brain, and then I'm going to pop chumbadas all day long.
And you want to put that onto this gun?
Yeah.
Do you have a gun that's not a piece of shit?
Hey, man, what the fuck? This is Bessie. I had this since I strangled that guy on 43rd.
I mean, I'm
This
sorry.
has killed like 10 people, man. I want to treat her right. She deserves a SmartLink. I deserve a SmartLink.
You want to treat her right, you need to put her out to pasture, man. And he looks up to the third person. You been getting busy lately?
Hey, man, sometimes you can resolve disputes by having a little chitty chat. I know you dreamers are all soft and like to sit around a campfire and sing Kumbaya until everybody's happy again. But out on the streets, bullets are how we decide things.
You're right. Well, let's have a look. Let's just count the bullet holes here. 1, 2, 3.
It's 5.
4,
I got shot 5 times, okay?
5. Oh, there looks like there's a 6th one there as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, that one looks quite...
That explains something, actually. Yeah, okay.
It would, wouldn't it? I think you need a neural uplink as well, you know what I mean? Okay, let's have a look. And he'll kind of analyze, and he'll regardless of whether or not these are doable, he'll give them the full cost total. So he kind of wants to look at all these 3 and just go, just spurt out the conservative amount that it would cost them for all 3.
So
give me a basic tech check.
19.
These repairs are going to be probably like 1,000 eddies. Probably a couple of thousand eddies.
I'd say 1,000 at least for all 3 together.
For all 3, yeah.
I was going to say that the smart gun alone.
This would come to, like, if you're buying them new flak, subdermal link for a gun, and what was the other thing? An extended mag?
Yeah.
Is like 800 tops.
So
I'm doubling that.
Fucking hell, man.
Fucking hell indeed, you came to me and you can find one of those real rough and tough gangs not like us little pussyfooting people here at Heaven.
They have a little huddle.
Fuckins, man. You said you should come here. Yeah, but they know their shit here. They know their shit. He can do it. Yeah, I know, man, but it's all...
He just starts chatting with Avid. He literally pulls up a card game and starts playing with Avid. He gets a physical card game and says, "Is this my card?"
You doing a magic trick?
He's doing a magic trick to Avid.
Nice.
Yes?
Oh, you got it again. 3 out of 3. Let's play again. They're going to be a while.
I can literally see all the cards.
Just pretend you
At all
don't.
times.
Just pretend you don't. Okay, I'll face it the other way. All right.
But
so,
I can see the data. I can see
look.
what
Can you shut that
see.
part off? You know, just work on just kind of. Can we compartmentalize this? And so if I show you this card, don't tell me what it is. Just you look at it. If I shut my eyes, can you still see the card?
I still remember what it is.
What? No, that's fine. So you know what it is. I'll pretend I don't. Now I'm going to put this back in the deck. Now, if I fan out all these cards, you pick one of them.
The 32nd card.
Let's say it's this one. So that's roughly about
It's that one.
It is that one. Okay. Now I'm not. Now, what I will look this time is that the same card?
Is the one you asked me to put?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. I should change jobs.
No, you shouldn't.
Oh.
They're returning. Sure, but it has to be done this afternoon, okay? We got a party to go to.
You got a party to go to. Don't you always have a party to go to?
Yeah, you should try sometime.
Yeah.
Fucking loser.
Well, I will be out now that I have $2 extra to spend on booze.
How long's it gonna take? All right.
You may just have to miss the first hour of your party, but give it the evening. It'll be all tip top for you.
Let's head up to Elysium. See what these fucking softies do for fun, eh?
I like this New York gang of piranhas.
90% of my US accents are New York. We're on the wrong coast. We're still, I don't care. You just use your imagination.
It's a flavor
folks.
thing.
Yeah.
Boys, I'm gonna want to see that you have the money before I start this.
Hold out my agent, and the transfer happens from them to Dreamland.
Thank you very much. Whatever left you've gotten there, spend it up at Elysium.
Wax.
I'm going to use my agent to contact my compatriots' agents and just touch base with them and see what they're up to.
So you hear about the chasing of chickens that Sprocket's been up to.
And this one, I called her Miriam, and she went phew, 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 all around the space.
And that
she...
agent conversation closes.
That closes. And then you hear about Spitfire working away.
Grifting people and checking on a penis.
Yeah, just doing contracts.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Dreamer contracts,
Closing both of those chats. Like, okay, well, they're not particularly, the young 16-year-old who got into, like, a quite bloody firefight.
Yes.
She seems to be handling it.
She had
okay.
an eggy breakfast, and that'll do a lot for you.
Yeah, well.
This is Night City. Heaven is relatively safe
Heaven
place.
is relatively safe, but
The reality is out there,
Yeah.
And that's where most people came before.
I presume this isn't her first rodeo, but also,
Yeah, she's still pretty...
She's still young.
She's
still
still
very
16.
young. Yeah. They don't seem to be suffering from PTSD
Great.
or anything like that.
So I'm going to head back home, and I'm going to try and get through the Enchanted Forest that
Go for it.
Dad made for me.
The Enchanted Forest is slightly more complicated. Working through the skills that you've built up, DV13.
Great. 18. I roll.
You leverage some of the programs you've used, and getting through the Enchanted Forest is about testing branching pathways. And the best way to do that is make a program that can quickly go down all the different pathways in the forest, find out which ones are the dead ends, and find its way to the end. With a satisfying chime, once more, a digital tangle of brambles threaded with a million different kinds of clocks and timers and hourglasses appear. This is the Tick-Tock Tangle.
Another layer, which will take another
4 hours of work.
Yeah, Wax doesn't enjoy being in his room in his house during the day. Basic tech stuff happening, which means it gets hot. And because the room is blacked out, he's sweaty and sticky by the time he leaves the room. And
It's a bit of-
happy to have defeated Dad's stupid bloody coding
Test. He did say he got carried away.
I know. Yeah.
It's like, how much more of this is there?
But it's worked, so time to do some maintenance.
So
It should be simple compared to what I'm having to deal with.
yeah, it's mindless. It's DV9.
Yeah.
So if you want to make a DV9 basic tech check, electronics, sorry,
Electronics check.
and all work in Heaven is voluntary, but the AIs in Dreamland try to assign everyone work which they will find fulfilling, even if it's menial. You don't have to put yourself on rotation for it, but most people do.
Yeah.
And they might grumble, oh shit, it's my cleaning month.
Yeah.
But they do it. They're happy to do it.
It's like a sign of good faith.
Yeah,
Like,
because someone else comes around and cleans their shit up
Yeah,
next month.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's Wax's attitude to
I rolled
this?
33 on security tech / electronics.
Yeah, you actually complete it in your 3 hours of assigned work in an hour.
Wax hears about how certain interface screens are glitching, and this seems to be a common occurrence. So instead of going, let's go round to each of those, that's clearly a coding issue deep somewhere, and that'll probably keep cropping up. So actually, rather than go to each of those and kind of solve them one by one, he deduces that it's probably something further in.
It's a problem with the graphics drivers
Yes.
for Dreamland.
Yeah. Finding that, he'll head into the forge, go into the servers.
Switch like 2 things over.
Yeah, I just go up to someone who's set up or someone who is on maintenance now.
Yeah, there's always a bunch of people there. So there's a guy in here named Russell who basically spends his whole time in here.
I will look at him.
Hey, Wax, you get to the bottom.
Point at what I've done.
Oh! I can't believe I didn't see that.
Bruh.
Well, no, sometimes you just need an outside perspective. That's good work, man. Thanks.
Bruh. And he will leave, head back home to do some hard work.
Cool.
That was boring.
It was
and
boring and annoying.
Can I ask a question about Wax's bruh thing? Is it kind of like, oh my god, I can't believe I had to do this? Or like, come on, you know better? Like, what's the kind of tone with the bruh?
It's sort of both. It's a, you're better than this, don't make me do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Because I imagine there's a lot of things that Wax is able to convey in his kind of shrugs and
I think bra's a very multi-purpose.
Yeah.
It's the latest Rolldercast t-shirt. It's bra.
And perfect for the audio medium. I think a lot of his communication is in body language and the way he stands and moves.
Bra.
This was barely maintenance sort of thing. It's like when a teacher sees a kid who's usually very good who messes up.
Come on.
It's just like, come on, man.
You know this.
Bruh.
I just wanted to.
It wasn't a problem with the monitors. It was a problem with the drivers.
Bruh.
I'm going to need a DV13 concentration check.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Just to kind of keep... You've already spent 8 hours coding and then another hour fixing problems in the server room. You need a DV13 just to keep going.
I'm not going to make that. That's a 10. So I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, and you just look at it and you look at TikTok Tangle and you're like, fuck. It's DV15, this one. It's starting to look more complicated and it's got some weird timing thing to it. And you just can't bring yourself to start working on it today. You just can't.
Right, fuck this. Dad, fuck your shit. And he'll start making his way to hang out with his good friend, the Ripper Dot, Lisa.
Sprocket. As we've been discussing, you have to fill your plate. So now you have to go all the way to the bottom of the tower to the motor pool and do a bit of vehicle tech work. Vehicles are always breaking down and there's a lot of stuff that needs to be ferried in and out of Heaven. It is its own kind of small, self-contained town. Yep. So, things get shipped in and out. There are trucks. There are a few gyros maintained. There are even a couple of AVs that they have up at Concord on a helipad on the side of the building so that they can basically have their own version of Trauma Team. There is a motor pool of bikes and ground cars and things that people can check out, like a big library. But people don't always treat them right.
Shame.
Someone has been taking this bike for a bit of a joyride. This first docket that you get presented with is this poor, mistreated dirt bike style bike. It is clogged up. It has obviously gone over some nasty jumps and slammed the engine block onto the dirt. Yeah, it's just in bad shape.
Boże mój.
It's like a 4-hour job. It's not particularly difficult. DV13 repair job on this thing. Yeah.
Well, I'll
your
give
docket.
it a whirl. That's a 10.
You spend first 2 hours trying to repair it, and then you realize that you're actually going to have to dismantle the bike fully.
Similar to the chickens of today, you've got to take them apart. You've got to take them away.
You don't have to take the chickens apart.
No, you don't have to take them apart. But with an infested coop,
Yes.
you've got to take the chickens out. Then you have to clear everything.
Yeah.
Then you have to put new stuff in. Then you have to clean the chickens. Then you have to put the chickens back. Her family would have been like, Sprocket, don't be caught out and not be able to fix your own car.
It's kind of frowned upon not to know a little bit about vehicle maintenance.
Yeah,
Know how
but
to change a tire.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd be able to engines bust, kind of pop the hood, have a look, but not if you've ridden a vehicle into the frickin' ground.
Yeah, this is why it's harder to do in one shot. So to dismantle an engine, it's going to take you 2 hours. This one's a bit easier, though. But it won't be the complete repair. DV9 to dismantle the engine. It's one of the first things you learn.
Yep, 14.
You spent the 4 hours you thought it could take to complete the job, but now you have begun it instead. You can keep working, or you can leave it for today and come back tomorrow. It's getting on for about 4 o'clock.
I think she'd keep going. I
Cool.
think, yeah.
Give me a DV9 concentration check, because you're a teenager and wanting to keep going and actually being bothered are two different things.
It's 11.
You make it just about. You're like, okay, no, I should finish. I should finish this tonight.
Yeah.
Try and finish this tonight. It's a 4-hour job still from where you are, but now it's a DV9 because you've taken it step by step.
Just.
Yeah, just. It's a 10.
Oh.
She needs her, afternoon snack, and she hasn't had it.
Yeah, so 2 hours into the job, someone brings you, a pack of kibble. They see you working, and you're sitting on a crate, or a can of oil, and they sit down and they talk to you about the repair you're doing, right? And they're like, hey, how's it going? You had to strip the whole thing.
Oh, it was mess. I would rather be up with the chickens and their shit for all of these things that are clogging up the machine.
What were you doing with the chickens?
Oh, funny story. So, I was up I was up in Purcell Farms.
Oh, yeah.
And the chickens have leg mites.
You haven't got any, weird mites on you? I had mites in my mattress last month. You don't...
Oh, I think that is something else. You cannot get leg mites from chickens.
Are you sure, man?
Not if you're bathing regularly. Jeez.
I might just go... might go over there. Actually, you eat that. Enjoy.
Glad you stay away from this, man.
I just remembered I had to finish something. So
yes,
I just thought you look hungry. Take yourself a break. Get back to it. All right.
Thank you very much. And remember, hypothetically, if you had leg mites, remember to wash and then apply balm to affected areas.
Balm.
Bam?
Sure thing. Just before 8 o'clock, you concentration is waning.
Yeah.
You're tightening the last bolts, putting the thing back together, turning over the engine, sputter, 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 turning over the engine, and it leaps to life.
Thank goodness.
Good job! I can mark the docket complete. And if you like, they're still serving hash browns in the dispenser.
Don't mind if I do, Vlad. Tonight we eat like kings.
One of the ways that Dreamers encourage people to take part in the maintenance and the jobs is that there's friendly competition on Dreamland where, the more dockets you complete, the more things you get done, the higher your imaginary points rise. They literally can't be redeemed for anything. It's not a currency. You don't starve if you don't get to the top of the leaderboard. But it does encourage people to, watch the numbers grow, which I'm sure many people out there know the joy of the feeling of watching numbers get bigger over time.
Oh, yeah.
How into that kind of thing is Sprocket? Is she very competitive?
I would say not so much competitive in the sense that she wants to beat others, but she's got this sense of I want to be liked and respected by the community. And so, she wants to make sure that her numbers kind of up.
Give me a concentration check. No DV, just tell me how you go. And this is how you've been going retrospectively.
16.
You're comfortably in the top 10. No, sorry, the top 5 amongst the mechanics.
Cool.
So you're known for, despite your young age, following through. So good.
Yay!
Good. It's good for your reputation in heaven.
I was about to say, is that reputation?
Yeah,
What?
it is to do with your reputation. And how does Spitfire feel about that same kind of system?
Look, he doesn't look down on it per se. It's just it's much of a muchness, really.
He doesn't need the incentive?
He doesn't need the incentive. He just need the approval of other people. So it's, look, if his numbers were incredibly down, it means he hasn't done shit, which means he's no, I still do shit. I'm competent.
Also, if your numbers were down, Avid would give you a hard time about it.
Exactly.
It's slipping this month.
Yeah, shut up. What are your numbers at, huh? Oh, that's right.
I
You're
do
attached
literally
to me.
everything you ask me to.
Oh,
That's-
that's score
that's-
one favored.
That's how I'm programmed.
Run diagnostics. So first things first, he figures he can get a lot of this done very quickly before he heads off to Prince Albert, which is what he's now named him. He's gonna just buy that new Kevlar and just make sure if there is any like idiosyncrasies in the old, like besides the bullet wounds, if there's something that he would go, hey, you missed the red stripe that I had on it, and clearly you just bought a new one. Like he would quickly make the alterations.
Yes.
It seems like it was very much yours. So kind of like wear and tear it a bit, but still make it look
Cool. Did
great.
we have you roll these upgrades?
Have not.
So let's give you weapons tech. Fitting a SMG for an extended mag is pretty everyday job.
Yep.
So that's 13.
18.
Yeah. So it's about changing one component for another. It's basically taking the magazine housing out and putting one that is rated for an extended mag.
And this
super
is
simple.
This is kind of fun to him. It's menial and like he can do this with his eyes closed.
Do you listen to music?
Does Avid offer?
Would you like me to put on some tracks for you? Perhaps I can give you one that elevates your heartbeat slightly to increase your work speed.
You know what? Let's
Because you need it.
I'm gonna let that one slide. I was about to be really nice and say you put on what you like, Avid. Something that
I don't have tastes.
oh well, we should change that. You know what are the other? What do you think someone like you would be into?
Processing.
I love
Machine
that band.
music.
Let's try that. Pause. Let's try what I like now.
She puts on an old classic.
I liked machine music.
There was like her best guess of like, I'm a machine.
It's like if someone
really stretching the limits of her program.
he loves to test those things out. It's
it's really...
It's this weird thing about, because tech is very black and white. It's why the fixing the mag is so simple. It's like, right, I see the problem, I fix the problem. Great. Don't have to deal with the piranhas. Like, just fuck off, and I can do this. It's simple. AIs are a bit of a weird one, because they're not quite black and white.
They're in that fuzzy space, aren't they?
That weird grey area. It is still nuts and bolts in the end, and it's all algorithms and everything, but algorithms are weird. It's
It
why
also-
he doesn't
Yeah.
touch net running.
It also seems like you enjoy pushing the limits of those algorithms because, like, an AI is not going to evolve further without being pushed into an area. So it's like that thing of, like, if you ask, do you like music? Then it has to think about music and, like...
And liking things.
Yeah, and liking things.
And if he does bust it, he goes, well, that's why I don't net run. That's why I don't deal with that bullshit. Because it can break. Yeah, he's pushing it a bit, just seeing kind of what's possible and what's not.
The last job is installing a smart link to what's basically a polymer one-shot.
David, pause.
I know, it's sacrilege, is what you would probably say.
Yeah. Can you just run me a quick scan? Has any job like this ever been attempted before? This piece of shit with a smart link.
Would you like me to search CityNet too?
If it's quick, sure.
It's not common, but people do it.
Look, if it breaks it, I'll chuck him a 50, I don't know. Let's give it a shot.
It's actually kind of hard
Yeah, I figure.
because it's like a plastic gun and you're trying to put an advanced piece of tech in it. So
Look,
it's like a
here's
17.
Here's the thing. If I don't break it, they can break it later.
Yeah, so it's a weapons tech 17.
It's like putting a body kit on a really bad car.
Yeah, it's just
It's like a spoiler.
gonna ruin it.
And
look at the Reddit, what is it? r/shitty car mods.
yeah. Shitty gun mods.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1, so it's actually ends up being a 9.
You drill into it to start putting the circuitry in, and it just goes and falls apart.
Huh. Well, that went about as well as expected. He'll just reimburse him for that. He'll just slap
It
that.
can't be done, you idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll take off his time.
His time. Yeah.
His time.
I mean, the money goes to the collective. You just get the
Yeah.
reputation for
Yeah.
performing the work.
He'll take the time off of it. He'll literally just leave the stuff there as a ticket done. He doesn't have to deal with them again. It's just that's done. That's not. They'll probably contact him. He doesn't give a shit. He'll tell them to their face once they come down. He's got a Prince Albert to look at.
As you're shoveling the remains of the polymer one-shot into the disposal, Wax actually comes past your shop. He's coming down to see Lisa, like 2 doors down. Do you stop in, say hi? Do you call out? Do either of you interact?
Wax will give the sup nod, but won't say the sup. that accompanies the sup nod. So
Thanks for translating that. for
Sup
listeners.
Just
nod.
the
Just
head-
the nod.
The upwards nod. We all know the upwards nod.
nod. And yeah, he'll just give a kind of a same deal, just with a bit of a hand raise as well, as he's putting the gun into the bin.
Wax will be weirded out. And continue on.
She's working on some guy's legs.
Yeah.
He's sitting there, like, with his legs dangling over the side of the workbench while he's reading something on his agent. She's there with her tools.
He comes into her kind of field of vision, her presence. Like, he's not there to, like, surprise her or anything like that.
Yeah.
But he isn't there to interrupt her work. He's just going to loiter and kind of lean against a wall and, like, close his eyes and put his head against the wall. Just to be in, like, around her space.
She takes about half an hour to finish up. When she's done, she gives the legs, like, a slap. You know, that's done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
All
birthing
done?
a baby.
Yeah. Off you go. And he hops up. You know, he tests his legs. Yeah, that stickiness is gone. I like that. Thanks, Silver. Wait, let me just check the jump servos. And he walks out of the bay, checks that there's no one, like, around or anything immediately above him, and just gives a little wind up and leaps into the air before clanging down. And a few people's heads turn. He's like, yeah, nice.
Go gadget legs.
He's a dreamer, so that work's done for free for him.
Free.
Lisa turns to you and she's just wiping her hands on a rag. Hey, kid,
What's up?
you look tired.
Yeah.
Big night last night, huh?
Big night.
Pulled in the goods, though.
Yeah.
Something bothering you, huh?
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
You ever know your dad?
Yeah, but he died a while ago.
I thought mine did as well.
Huh, thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, you found something interesting out last night, then.
Yeah.
What is it exactly?
Don't know yet.
I don't have any more darkets today. You want to come out the back?
Yeah.
She kicks over a chair to you and sits back and says, talk to me.
You know the net runners in here in heaven?
Yeah, we got a few.
You know
yeah,
our
a few
point system.
khakis. Yeah.
It's the running joke is that the way you get points is you hack it.
How long has that been going on?
Oh, like 6 months.
Shit, and is it just the text?
No, it's just us. It's just us. It's just
Okay,
us.
fine.
We're
It's
not
not
messing with anyone else.
the leaderboards for
For
general maintenance, the motor
they're
pool,
all
the
legit.
farm.
They're all legit.
Oh,
Just the net runners is just us fucking with each other.
fucking hell. So, I mean, I guess you're practicing.
Yeah, that's
Right.
it's white hat, right?
Yeah, well, maybe that's how you guys run your leaderboard. I mean, who am I to say?
Yeah, we just kind of flick like black ice in there occasionally or whatever. And
Sure, as long as you're not breaking anything,
No,
I don't
it's
see
shit.
that big a problem with it.
anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about.
Sure,
but
but thanks for telling me.
yeah, yeah, I found some weird stuff last night.
About your dad, huh?
Yeah,
You think he's alive?
I think so. Maybe
Where?
hot zone.
Shit.
That's why I say maybe alive.
Right, yeah. Well, that's it's pretty logical. What you gonna do? Go find him, huh?
Props.
Well, if you're heading the hot zone, I mean, chemicals, radiation, fucking some of the worst gangs of the city being driven out there. The Maelstrom. Teched up psycho fuckers. That's their playground.
I know.
Whoa, you better come correct if you're going in there.
I mean,
Come
Silver,
on, kid.
come on.
Yeah, I know, kid. You got self-confidence, but you're gonna need preparation, too. I'm just looking out for you, you know? I know you got the skills, but talent only gets you halfway, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, the crew you've been running it
Yeah.
with. You reckon they'll be on board to help you?
I think they might be up for a challenge, yeah.
Cool. I think you'll need someone watching your back if you head
Yeah,
deep in there.
I think so. Anyway,
Yeah.
nothing.
Hey, what's your opinion on the power budget coming up? People have been saying we're spending way too much on expanding the computing and networking supplies, and some of that stuff should be stripped down so we can use it for maintaining more technical stuff.
As she talks, Wax will kind of like lean against a wall and just let her talk.
Yeah, so she basically uses you as a sounding board.
Wax and Silver have a relationship which is he will come to her with personal stuff, talks maybe like 10 minutes
Yeah,
tops,
yeah.
and then that's it, and then just shuts up and then lets her talk
Yeah.
about practical things
Yeah.
where he echoes her response to confirm her
Yeah.
her thought.
But what she's given you is a kind of like a go for it.
Yeah,
Like, this
yeah.
is a good thing to do. It's
Yeah.
dangerous,
Yeah.
but you need to do it.
Yeah.
And make sure you have friends, make sure you're prepared to get
Totally.
the right kit, and off you go.
They seem very like comfortable in silences with each other.
Yeah, they are.
Just pointing that out.
Yeah, it's a non-romantic relationship. There's no sexual energy between them. They discovered that early.
Right. They hold space for each other.
They hold space for each
They
other.
do,
There's
yeah.
a very professional respect for each other in that they're very good at what they do and they have very similar attitudes, which is a very comfortable silence.
Yeah.
He'll come to her with personal stuff. She'll come to him with professional stuff. They'll talk and then they'll shut the fuck up.
Roll to Cast Feed the Beast is a Baby Beard media production. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and all our podcasts are on Spreaker, Spotify, YouTube, and all good podcatchers. You can support us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/babybeard. Cyberpunk Red and all associated properties are trademark of our Talsorian Games, used with permission.